Welcome to the thrilling kickoff of the 2025 UIM MotoSurf World Championship. Hosted once again in the stunning Emirate of Fujairah under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Hamad bin Mohammed Al Sharqi. Against the backdrop of its pristine coastline and intense desert heat, soaring above 40 degrees, riders face not only fierce competition, but also extreme weather conditions that tested their endurance and skill.
Here in Fujairah, we're nearing 40 degrees. We've seen it's been above 35 degrees for the past few days for training and for the first couple of days of racing. So I don't know, we have air-conditioned spaces for us to kind of relax, but it is extreme heat and it is exhausting us, so we'll have to see how it affects some of the riders.
This opening round brought together top talent across a range of categories, including juniors, masters, women, elite, stock and stock Merlin Plus. From rising stars to seasoned professionals, each athlete delivered high-octane performances in this adrenaline-fueled event, marking an electrifying start to the championship season. Fujairah, one of the 7 Emirates of the United Arab Emirates, stands out for its dramatic natural beauty and diverse geography. Famed for its pristine beaches, crystal clear waters and vibrant marine life, Fujairah is a prime destination for nature enthusiasts and adventure seekers alike. The women's category was both highly competitive and packed with talent this year. 2 standout names from last season were reigning champion Eliška Mareškova and the formidable Aneta Slukalova, who are back and ones to watch.
Today we're number 2 to the heats, and I'm racing with not all of mine, but most of mine crewmates from the Rapid Racing team, so I'm really excited and see on the track.
I'm also very excited to race with juniors from last year because they're very fast and they ride very good, so I'm very excited and I'm going to try my best to compete in the first positions.
Additionally, several riders who've now graduated from the junior division to compete in the women's class, including Sara Zubarova, Laura Markova and Kristina Hrubkova, all of whom are expected to make a strong impact. First heat of the women's Group A saw Mariana Navarova make the perfect start to take the early lead. But Eliška Mareškova timed her long laps well and slowly gained on the leader to take the win in the first race. In Group B, Sara Zubarova takes the early lead with a good start, but Aneta Slukalova is relentless in her pursuit of the lead. Slukalova is finally rewarded for her efforts in the latter half of the heat and never looks back to win and take the points. In Heat 2, Mariana Navarova makes an aggressive start, but she's matched by Aneta Slukalova, who takes the lead after her first long lap in the early stages of the race. Then Navarova is challenged again by third-place rider Emma Slukalova, and the Slovak and Czech pair battle it out until the final laps. On the penultimate lap, Slukalova finally passes Navarova to claim second spot. Navarova has to settle for third.
There is the start. A perfect reaction from Sara Zubarova. A quite not as good reaction from Eliška, but now they're charging into the first corner.
A very awkward start from Kristina Hrubkova. She's lost a lot of ground in the first part. And is that Rosalia Janora picking up the pieces round the far side? Very good tactics from the pole as they zoom into the slalom for the first time. But that's about as perfect as it could get for Sara Zubarova. Can she now hold this in front of the reigning world champion?
We're going to see the exit, and it's going to be very close, but Sara Zubarova is in front.
Great stuff from the 15-year-old as Sara Zubarova. Right, here comes the tactics. So Eliška Mareškova thinks, right, I couldn't get her in the slalom. Now I'll get her in the long lap. This is why I'm the world champion. Watch this.
This is going to be very close, though.
It is, isn't it? Because now she's trying to make the trajectory. They're going to go side by side as they come off. And it's Zubarova. Zubarova's done enough. And Eliška Mareškova actually shakes her fist at Sara Zubarova. She thought she had her on the first attempt, and she has not been able to eclipse her. Well done to Sara Zubarova. We've got a slow rider in front of Sara Zubarova. This could be a problem. just about manages to get out of the track there. That was Yue Nijin, the Chinese rider, just about staying out of trouble. But that actually benefited Zubarova better. Matushkova, I think, got caught out at the wrong angle. Final lap, the white flag has already been in the air. We now need to see where it's all going to filter out. But we need to now figure out if Zubarova has done enough, or has the experience of Eliska Matushkova worked out in the reigning world champions' favor. Here they both are, and it's Matushkova in front. Matushkova is in front of Zubarova. She manages to use being out on the road, on the way path, just a little longer than Sara Zubarova. She's managed to get there. Eliska Matushkova will be the first to receive the checkered flag, and what a sensational ride. Experience counts in her favor.
In Heat 3 of Group A, Eliska Matushkova once again establishes her lead from the start and is focused throughout to claim victory. In the race for second, Mariana Navarova manages to hang on for most of the race, but fellow Czech rider Valentina Novotná makes a late challenge to finish second. In the other heat, Aneta Slukalova is flawless throughout and finishes with a clear lead. Emma Slukalova pushes hard the entire race, but can only come in second. Kristina Hrubkova comes in third. In Heat 4 of Group A, Eliska Matushkova's form continues as she leads from the start and has a perfect run to claim victory. Aneta Slukalova comes in second and Laura Markova comes in third.
Well, this is my first race in a women category, so I'm actually nicely surprised that how I'm doing so far. But I hope that I will keep going the way I'm going so far.
I was on the second place to start to the heats, and I managed to win all of the heats, and now it's just the final, and I'm starting with number 1.
We now join our live commentary for the next race.
They now wait for the command, and off we go, and Aneta Slukalova gets a brilliant start. No worries at all. Going to be a tricky one for second place, though, because that looks like a very feisty Sara Zubarova trying to get level and around the outside of Mariana Navarova, who holds the position. She runs out wide, jerks out. Sara Zubarova decides to go right compared to the left option. They continue on their way further forward, and the number 1 is not the leader. Mariana Navarova has dug deep and pushed out ahead of Aneta Slukalova. So Mariana Navarova has found something strong in the slalom and has taken the lead. So Aneta Slukalova has no option. She's got to go for the long lap to try and leapfrog past Mariana Navarova. So she's now there, but there is the lady who has charged through to the lead. Oh, careful, Mariana. But she really wants to come back for a victory today. She wants to put herself back into the form that she was in on Friday. And she's going to be, oh no, Mariana Navarova pushes too far. Oh, it's such an unfortunate moment for Navarova, leading the race with so much confidence. And unfortunately on this occasion, she just finds a little bit too much in the waves. And so Mariana Navarova falls from the lead. So it's going to be Sara Zubarova that picks up the pieces, but this lady, Aneta Slukalova, has now been given license to go and take the victory away. She's got both of her long laps out of the way, I think. Look back, there is Sara Zubarova. She tried her best to catch her, but Aneta Slukalova is so strong in her best rhythm. And so she will come through to finish off in the final couple of points of the reckoning, and Aneta Slukalova comes through to take the victory.
I won all of the heats, so I'm very happy, I'm very proud of myself. I didn't expect it because we have young juniors, first year in our class, and they're super fast, so I'm so happy. And yeah, ready for the finals, and I'm gonna try my best to fight for the podium.
In the junior boys category, Stanislav Kohut made perfect winning runs in all 4 heats, but unfortunately missed a buoy in the final that dropped him down to 4th position. That meant Maciej Barwik of Czechia wins the overall competition and the bragging rights. In the junior girls, Ellen Burdova put on a winning show in all 4 heats, taking the overall lead. Nela Poznakova and Maja Zilowinska claimed 2nd and 3rd, respectively. In the first heat of the Masters category competition, favourite Kim Down made a bad start and took a tumble and wasn't able to continue with the race. However, he managed perfect runs in the other heats to win the overall race. Arkadia Janora of Poland claimed 2nd place, with Czech rider David Poznik coming in 3rd. considered the premier category of MotoSurf, Elite features modified boards and high-performance racing. All 9 riders hailed from Czechia, showcasing the country's dominance in the field. Leading the pack was last year's champion Matthias Novotny, considered the top contender. Close behind was Alex Lukscheider, who finished 2nd overall last season, and Lukas Zahorski, another strong name in this elite lineup. First heat of the elite category saw a 3-way battle between Alex Lukscheider, Matthias Novotny and Lukas Zahorski. Zahorski led at the first lap, but Novotny struck back on the 3rd lap to move into first. Lukscheider waited for his chance and finally took the lead on the penultimate lap and cruised to victory in the end. We now join live commentary for Heat 2.
Here we go! The Elite is underway for the 2nd time, and it's very close between the top 4. Zahorski, Lukscheider, Novotny and Kozicek all dueling away for position. It looks like Novotny is going to have a bit of a struggle here as round the far side. Can Kozicek hold his speed off the turn into 3rd position in the slalom? He has to wait behind Novotny, but the top 4 have definitely got the charge on everybody else. Zahorski versus Lukscheider in the slalom for the first time. Has Zahorski got the speed to make it work? He does for the moment. He comes off the turn as Novotny gets in front of Lukscheider out of the slalom. Great work from Matthias Novotny. He leapfrogs past Alex Lukscheider on the exit of the slalom. Beautifully taken as he works his craft up towards Lukas Zahorski. So Lukscheider takes the long lap. Zahorski does not. Here is Matthias Novotny coming out of the slalom in the previous heat. He's gone a little further into the race, following in the white water of Lukas Zahorski. He comes back onto the course. Where is he in relation to Matthias Novotny? Is he in front of him? Yes, he's just managed it. So Alex Lukscheider again manages to jump Matthias Novotny in the first long lap. A very tough opportunity now for Lukas Zahorski as he continues to make headway through the slalom. He comes off into the slalom section. You go into the water at that speed, of course, you're losing teeth. Who is that that's gone down? Someone went down in the water there on the way to the long lap. It looked to me like one of the Rocket Racing riders. It's certainly not Lukas Zahorski. I don't think it was Matthias Novotny. It's worth having another look at who it was. Well, the number 2, Alex Lukscheider, is having some difficulties with his foot clamps there as he loses out to the 6 of Dominik Kadlec. Alex Lukscheider in trouble in the 2nd of the heats. So Lukscheider's got a problem with the foot clamps. It's not going to be a double victory as he beat him off the long lap. Well, Matthias Novotny has dropped back. I wonder if it's actually Novotny that came off the board. Because Novotny, we saw somebody go down. Is it the world champion Matthias Novotny? Because he's now showing us behind. Daniel Bravaznik, and down into the water goes Dominik Kadlec. Get back on, quick! You're going to lose that 2nd place, which he does to Alex Lukscheider, and he misses the buoy in the process. So Lukscheider is thrown a lifeline there by Dominik Kadlec. There is the 2 of Alex Lukscheider trying to make up the recovery. So out of the final couple of turns will come Lukas Zahorski, I think, to take the checkered flag. Now that it's all corrected itself, that should be the victory for Alex Lukscheider in front of Lukas Zahorski, I do believe.
Eager to forget his disappointing performance in Heat 2, Lukscheider absolutely storms out of the start in Heat 3 to take the early lead. Even with a sustained challenge from Zahorski on the final laps, Lukscheider keeps his focus and composure to win Heat 3 and redeem his early mistakes. Heat 4 developed very similarly to Heat 3, with Lukscheider making a stellar start to take the lead and Zahorski giving chase close behind. As the lap wound down, Zahorski narrowed the gap, but in the end, Alex Lukscheider held on to his lead to win the heat.
And it was an easy cookie, but in my head I'm the best, so no one can beat me mentally or physically. And if you want to be the best, you must believe you're the best. Otherwise, you won't be the best.
Stock and Stock Merlin Plus categories featured a combined total of 23 riders, with 16 competing exclusively in the stock class. Notably absent was seasoned rider from Korea Kim Min-song. In his absence, the spotlight shifted to Anthony Squire from the USA, Kim Down from Korea, and Hassan Bobas from Kuwait, emerging as the key contenders in the battle for first place.
So yeah, when I learned Min-song wasn't coming, it's kind of bittersweet. Obviously, he's like my #1 rival, but I love having him here. He's a great dude. So we miss him, but it's one less really good competitor on the track, so it helps and hurts.
In the first heat of the stock category Group A, Damien Kadlec had a solid run and finished in first place. Adam Ficek was close behind and came in second. In the first heat of Group B, Kim Down started off from where he left off last year and managed to win the heat. There was stiff competition for second place as Anthony Squire and Zhang Maizhu battled it out until the end. The American rider came out on top to claim second spot, with Maizhu settling for third. In Heat 2 of Group A, there's drama from the offset as Damien Kadlec and David Krikke both take a tumble, blowing the competition wide open. Anthony Squire then takes full advantage of the Czech rider's misfortune to claim the lead and cruise to victory, with Chinese athlete Maizhu finishing in second place. In Heat 2 of Group B, Hassan Bobas was flawless and won the race with a clear margin. Adam Ficek and Kim Down battled it out for second spot, where the Czech rider was ahead for most of the race. However, an unfortunate fall late in the race saw Korean Kim Down overtake and finish second. In Heat 3, Anthony Squire stormed into the lead from the start, but Damien Kadlec and Adam Ficek were in hot pursuit. Adam Ficek stuck to Anthony Squire all the way to the end, matching the Americans every move until the last lap, where disaster struck. The Czech rider pushed a little too hard and ended up in the water.
And down! And down! Unbelievable! Trying his best to go after Anthony Squire, and it's Adam Ficek that makes the mistake.
He's forced to watch Damien Kadlec overtake and claims second spot. In the other heat, Kim Down starts well and keeps a good lead until the finish to claim victory. Second place goes to Hassan Bobas. Now let's join the live commentary for Heat 4.
Now we wait for the moment. Anthony Squire's arm goes down and we're going to go racing. We're going to charge forward to the first turn. And Hassan Bobas has actually got a better start than the pole sitter. So now they've got to go and run around the outer perimeter. Anthony Squire trying to hold the inside line. He's going to manage to get the trajectory and he'll tuck back in. An aggressive start from both Bobas and Anthony Squire, but Squire holds his nerve. And as they go into the slaloms for the first time, Anthony Squire sorts it out and manages to hold on to the lead. Hassan Bobas is giving chase. Second place is going to be tricky to sort out as Hassan Bobas has already got pressure from the men behind. Anthony Squire looking so smooth out there in the sharp end. This is exactly what he wanted to do, and he has done so in fantastic fashion. So it will be a tricky one to see how the contenders continue from this point forward, but there is Anthony Squire. Oh, nearly drops it in the slalom. Anthony Squire under so much pressure here. He's never had it so good, but that's when you start to make those errors. So Anthony Squire's got to be careful. Hassan Bobas is still on him, that's fairly sure, but Adam Ficek is not far away either. This is not easy now for Anthony Squire, following in the white water of Jan Matoška. This is going to slow him down a little bit. To Matoška, that works out in his favour. Here's Hassan Bobas going on to the long lap. So this is where we find out how much time Anthony Squire lost, stuck behind Jan Matoška. So who's going to get out of the long lap first? Will it be Bobas or will it be Anthony Squire? It's going to be close. And there is Anthony. Oh no, that's Ficek. Ficek going parallel with Hassan Bobas. And Bobas just hangs on to second place. They weren't quite able to eclipse Anthony Squire. But that is how close it is now for the victory. There's Squire, there's Bobas, there's Ficek. There's nothing in it. This is one of the closest races we have seen in the stock category this week. And Adam Ficek now has every opportunity here to take on Hassan Bobas of Kuwait. Has he got the pace and the confidence to overhaul Bobas in the slalom? They've got one more lap to go as David Krikke is leading this race, but he's got one more long lap to take. So these are the true leaders. Bobas, Squire. This is so tricky for Bobas and Ficek because they've got no choice now but to run in the white water of Anthony Squire, and Bobas making a slight error there on the buoy. Keeps it upright. And down in the water. Who's that that's gone? So that's right in the path of the raceway. And that could cause an error. It's Ficek! It's Adam Ficek! So Ficek goes down in third. Anthony Squire trying to keep it nice and level. Bobas is still slightly behind. Squire comes out of the slalom first. No worries at all. 3 turns to go. And Anthony Squire has his hand in the air. Don't celebrate yet. All it takes is one mistake as Anthony Squire will hold on, and he does take the victory over Hassan Bobas.
I just finished Heat 4. It was incredible. I start from second place. I overtake the first place on the start, but he overtake me at the finish line. Hope me the luck on the final.
So overall, really good racing. I'm super happy I got first, and it's going to be a really interesting final.
We'll wait for the charge to go forward. Now we're going racing. That's more like it. And it's a fantastic start of the front from Damian Kadlec. He's going to draw level with Down Kim, but can he overhaul him around the outside? That's going to be the tricky nature of this race now. Everybody keeping it nice and measured, but they're going to have a really tough rush now to try and keep themselves in the mix. So out in first position, no worries at all. Second position, it's going to be a tough one now between Damian Kadlec and Zhang Maozhu. The Swedish rider Hannes Hultberg, who's been getting quicker and quicker as the race weekend goes on. Damian Kadlec is looking competitive already. He decides to take the long lap, as does Faraz Ramadan. Out in front though, Down Kim, number 1. Looking very confident indeed as he runs clear into the lead. There is the 3. That is Zhang Maozhu. But let's not forget that Damian Kadlec is the first rider to take the long lap twice. This man, Down Kim, who he's trying to catch, has taken the long lap once, but he needs to take it a second time before we really get to see where Kadlec is going to be in relation to Down Kim. Now Down Kim's gone. Down Kim's in trouble! Down Kim's gone into the water! That completely changes the face of the stock category. Down Kim was looking so good for the victory in this class, and now the drop has put him down and whack. Anthony Squire must be grinning from ear to ear like a Cheshire cat on the shoreline. Now, whether that was a problem with him or whether that was a problem with the board, it doesn't matter. It's thrown him out of the contention for the victory in this race. So tricky. The waves are so choppy compared to what they were. As Damian Kadlec, I thought he'd already taken the long lap twice. He has. And yet he's taken it a third time. What's going on for Kadlec? Has he miscounted? Now that could hand the victory to the Chinese racer Zhang Maozhu. Kadlec is struggling here. Yeah, Kadlec has got a problem. Kadlec is cruising. And this is great news for the Chinese racer Zhang Maozhu. He's got his hand in the air. The checkered flag goes his way. And Zhang Maozhu, I think, is going to have this. Both Down Kim and Damian Kadlec hit trouble. Faraz Ramadan comes through for second position to win the rookie race.
After 2 days of high-intensity competition and exceptional performances from all participants, the event's scheduled finals were brought to an early close due to unexpected environmental conditions outside the control of organisers and competitors. In the interests of safety and fairness, the organising committee, following a unanimous decision by the Riders' Committee and event officials, concluded the competition based on the results of the completed stages. Points were awarded accordingly, honouring the efforts and achievements demonstrated during the racing conducted prior to the interruption.
Unfortunately, we will not be able to proceed with the finals due to a very unexpected situation happening here on the Indian Ocean because of safety issues on the water. We are not able to proceed, so the riders will be awarded based on the points collected from the heat, and the podium ceremony will then happen without the finals.
So today we ended the races a little bit early. Unfortunately, there's no final due to some circumstances that none of us can control. So basically the race directors have decided to take these standings from how we would have started in the finals for every group. It's racing, we're going to have a good weekend, we're going to have a award ceremony, and we're all looking forward to Turkey in June. So we'll see you guys there.
We had some unforeseen circumstances that canceled our final, but I think it was an interesting learning experience for everybody because this is the first time that's happened for such a young sport. I think that goes to prove that we're that much more mature as a community and a sport. So I think everybody is, in a way, happy with the race overall, and we'll have to see what the rest of the season holds for us.
So here are the riders that topped the podium in their respective categories in Fujairah. Alex Lukscheider sat on top of the elite class, while Anthony Squire took the stock category. David Kricker claimed victory in stock R competition, and Eliška Mariškova won the women's category to take her place on the top of the podium. That wraps up our coverage from Fujairah at the first leg of the UIM MotoSurf Championship of 2025 at the Fujairah Grand Prix of the United Arab Emirates. See you all at the next event.